Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing one of the most innovative and distinctive Rolex timepieces of the modern era. This is the Rolex Cellini Prince. We're looking at reference 5441/9, which you can see and purchase on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Rolex Cellini Prince in white gold. Now, the watch on my wrist represented a bevy of firsts for Rolex. Easily the most innovative and distinctive watch released in the 21st century by the giant of Geneva. This family of Rolex Cellini is also my favorite family of Rolex watch, and I'm going to show you why in a moment. First, let's talk about the way it fits, because fit comes first. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it fits a treat. The outright dimensions are very friendly to smaller wrists. 44.3 millimeters lug to lug means you can wear this watch easily on a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference. It's not thick, even though its sheer sides create that appearance. Only 9.3 millimeters thick, it will easily slide underneath both a suit jacket, sleeve, and a dress cuff. Now across the wrist, that is lengthwise I should say, the watch is 27.3 millimeters from what would conventionally be the 9 o'clock side to the 3 o'clock side, not including the crown. You will note that the watch features a highly integrated combination of strap and lug that shows no daylight between strap and caseband, creating a highly integrated and aesthetically pleasing look. Now you can see that the clasp is quite a bit different from the oysters we've come to know, as it is a double deployant white gold folding clasp. Now you can see both sides have incremental adjustments that can be made with spring bars. The chassis itself is curved to trace the arc of the underside of the wrist, and it is fully finished beautifully of high polish inside and out. It's incredibly handsome, and it gives you a measure of security, far more than you get with a pin buckle while donning or removing at bedside. The strap is a medium scale, rectangular scale alligator leather, and that is actually bonded for a cleaner appearance, which is to say there's no stitching. It's a bonded strap with a very thick sheer cut to give it a sense of mass and presence. Although the watch is not large, it has very strong geometries that give it impressive stance, and the strap is part of that. As you can see, there's no stitching top or bottom. It just transitions to calfskin, supple calfskin on the underside to match the alligator leather on the top. Once again, you can see just how integrated it is, as the strap and the case have no gap between them. Moreover, the strap, though massive and stiff, is unconstrained in its motion, so if you must, to fit a smaller wrist, you can pull the strap straight down with absolutely no constraint on its movement. When closed, and this is how all this works. I know this is unfamiliar for most of us who were raised on Rolex sports watches, but this is how the clasp works, and it's beautifully executed, nicely finished with a small kerf underneath the 5-point coronet to allow you to dig in your finger and open the clasp. I'm going to open it entirely to better display the case back in a moment, because this was the first Rolex production model to sport a display case back. Now the white gold is Rolex gray gold, and the case is stamped, the two things attesting to Rolex's level of investment. Stamping cases is expensive. It also creates a better, stronger case. That's why Rolex does it this way. Also, creating your own foundry and your own gold alloys is expensive, but that's why Rolex does it, because Rolex has the economies of scale to make it work and reap the benefits. This is gray gold, not white gold. It's the same 18-karat white that you get with white gold, but it's a homogeneous material, so if you scratch it or scuff it, there's just more white material underneath, i.e. it never needs to be plated like rhodium-coated white gold does. You'll also note the Gadron profile of the ends of the cases. Every one of these cases sported a slightly different design to match a slightly different, or I should say dramatically different dial and dramatically different movement decoration. Yes, the movement is decorated. More on that in a moment. Now you can see applied and blackened indices and Roman numerals, and at center, white gold Dauphine style hands. You'll also note that there are a number of different finishes on the dial, including an opaline for the hour track and the minute register, and a gorgeous metallic Gadron style redolent of Art Deco flair throughout the dial outboard of the indications and inboard of the hour track. It's absolutely spectacular. The dial matches the lugs, matches the movement. Okay, we're going to get a little bit closer now. I'm going to try to zoom in and show you what I'm seeing through my eyes. Now this is the caliber as you can see, 7040-3. The -3 denotes that this is the Gadron style movement. So the movement, again, matches the dial on these Cellini Princes. From 2005 to 2014, these watches were made. Rarely purchased, however, they were the most unsung hero of the Rolex catalog. A display case back on a Rolex, and shockingly, the movement actually deserves that display case back. This is a beautifully executed caliber, polished, faceted. The screws themselves are exactly what you would expect in the likes of Jaeger-LeCoultre, Audemars Piguet, black polished with their slots chamfered. You can see the edge of every bridge has a glorious anglage gleam, and the Gadron pattern is executed across the bridges. This is a watch that also features all of the rugged refinements you would expect in a sports watch movement. Manual wind with a 70-hour power reserve. Blink and you'll miss it, but this is actually a dual-anchored balance bridge. It's a little bit deceptive in its style, but it's anchored at both sides. It has a free-sprung index. And yes, you will note that it retains the hacking function that you would get in a Rolex sports watch, so you can set it precisely to the second against a reference time. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, and it has a 72-hour power reserve when fully wound. In other words, it has all the toughness of the sports watches with a longer power reserve than most of them, and it has the same level of precision. In fact, it may even be more precise than the sports watches because you can make a manual winding watch more accurate at the margins than an automatic. This is a spectacular timepiece, the first display back Rolex, the first decorated Rolex caliber designed to be seen. A modern, non-round Rolex that proves, yes, there are worthwhile non-round watches outside the realms of Cartier, Jaeger-LeCoultre, and Richard Mille. A spectacular piece that you will never see because no one else will have one. This is a true conversation piece, and perhaps it might even be described as the Rolex for the guy who's not into Rolex. Superlative, truly, not just as a chronometer, but as a watch. This is a timepiece that is absolutely engrossing, a cult-like piece with a following that's building on the internet since its discontinuation. This is one of the great modern best-kept secrets from the highest profile name in watches. See it and own it on our website.